Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Friday the 17th of January. So, halfway through the month, or more than halfway through the month already. Let's firstly look at where we're going with news today. And we've got very little left. Building permits, that's not much of a mover at all, if at all. That's pretty much it then. Good news from China's perspective there. Data up, GDP better than expected, industrial production running hotter, retail sales slightly above, bit more more deviations in that data often. Finally, looking at yesterday, just briefly looking at core retail sales, they came in disappointingly yesterday in the US there. It may be the month before was so good, it had been upgraded the month before, and of course you got Black Friday in there. Now this Black Friday sales and everything else is probably taking so much heat. A lot of the buying that was included in that month. Well, it's not surprising that December's not quite so hot. Anyway, let's move on and look at the technicals, starting off with the euro dollar. And we had a marginal update yesterday on the euro, but it really is still in a mess here. There's little to be done for me at this stage. I could be looking at, I mean, it's a bit of a triangle, I guess, going on there, which are notoriously dodgy in terms of they're less than a 50-50 win rate on them. So quite ugly looking. We need something more than that. You see, once you get down to the hourly, it really isn't showing anything too much. It could continue to roll over this morning. I like the bigger picture on that, but maybe I'll look back at it on Monday and try and see if we can get back into shorts then. Talking about getting into shorts, the pound's already moving this morning. It's broken out of this original trend line I'd put on there. It broke out yesterday. Unfortunately, just clipped me out on the stop side of things there. But it's broken back down again at the moment. That's already gone this morning. There's not a lot I can want to do with that once it's gone so far. US dollar yen catching a bit of a bounce so far this morning. We had a couple of decent days to the downside here this week. We could still see further downside on this. I have taken a short position. I'm just above the water at the moment, okay at the moment, but really looking, I've got to stop quite a way away, really looking for a much more of a position on that. So it's just getting into a position was the thing yesterday. Okay, it's looking like it could roll over again this morning at some stage, but as the old saying says, it won't go from here. Actually, it's not too far. It's still okay from what I'm looking at the bigger picture. Okay, the Australian dollar coming off this morning again. Yesterday was sold off, closed down. It's a break below the weekly pivot would be much more bearish, but it really has been in the chop zone, and I think we might get more of the same today. There's not a lot out there to drive things any different. Look at the Canadian dollar. Canadian dollar's pushing back towards the upper side there. Quite strongly actually. We've had quite a number of green 4-hourly bars here. It's gone up quite a rate overall this week. In fact, most this week it's been pushing up, but it's not taken away the choppiness from it for good parts of the day. Maybe a retracement would give an opportunity on the buy side, but where to at this stage? Maybe hourly 34. There must be something else to look at, but it's not looking that great at the moment. New Zealand dollar continues to the downside, very similar to the pound a lot of the time. It has got some weakness kicking around there, although it's holding up a little bit in this current hour, but this maybe a break of these lows could see a continuation back for the previous lows and possibly more, but it's sort of got a very ugly head and shouldery pattern there, and a break of that sort of neckline would be a bit more bearish at the moment. Just seeing a bit of action coming through, more positive. So we're closing up on the hour. US dollar Swissy, you could see if you looked at the last chart before I started moving around, I still think there's more upside potential on this, although it will get to the stage where we'll get the Swiss National Bank stepping in, because it'll be the Swissy would be too weak, which is inflationary, which I don't really want too much of. Again, got a bit of a triangle sitting here away from the highs. Maybe it will break down, but triangles, as I say, notoriously unreliable. Although on a daily, during the intraday there, it's just really such a mess. It's not the best of markets. We started off for the earlier part of the week with plenty of options, and we're ending it with what looks like very few at the moment. Okay, Euro Yen still consolidating around where it is at this stage. Again though, we could see a continuation to the downside on that. We'll see how the yen picks up, but I'm in a yen short, so there's nothing I want to see or try and do from where it is at the moment. It did come off quite nicely yesterday for quite a while, and eventually went off and hit those lows, but it's quite messy where it is at the moment. If you're not in a yen trade and you want to be short, well, this is a possibility. The euro's been running poorly. Maybe a break of the lows at some stage. Right, that's it for the majors for now. I'll look at the rest in the trading room in a short while. Gold. So gold yesterday, solid old day, back into those previous highs, reacting into that level. What is it about that level? 27.25, $2,225. Coming off at the moment, having a reaction. This could set something. It'd be interesting to see how it sets up here. It's into its daily pivot. If at the end of the hour we can get some sort of, into the new hour, we can get some sort of reversal. There is a bit of a flag pattern there, so a break of the sort of 27.15 area might see us pushing back up. So there's some scope there on gold. It's probably a better looking chart, but if it keeps on rolling, well, then I'll stand aside and leave it. I don't want to be looking to try and get shorts on it. Crude, well, came off a bit yesterday, still looking like it's got further upside here for a while at least, but it is quite messy as it is. Maybe a break of the highs there for a bit of a continuation back up to today's highs, but it's not a lot of meat on the bone there. Equity markets up this morning at the moment, up 0.3 at the moment. Still in this descending channel though. It's not managed to break through from that. It rolled over in the end a little bit yesterday, not massively, and it is consolidating near its near-term high, so we could get the break out of that. Normally descending channels, we look for the depth of the channel for a break of the top. So if it breaks the top, looking for the depth of the channel, which would see that probably moving back towards those prior highs. Consolidating where it is at this stage on a lower time frame, looking like it could still push. It's sort of pushed out of this pattern here, short-term pattern, looking like it's got some scope to push up there. See how it develops there. Okay, oops, just a quick look at the Dow then. As I've done it, it was looking, I looked at this earlier, I was looking at it yesterday, looking quite bearish, a little bearish Rami almost, although it is consolidating around its highs. If we see the S&Ps goes, most likely we're going to see the Dow go with it, so looking a bit more positive maybe for this afternoon. FTSE, this is gapping on the short time frame, but pushing up, as I said yesterday. It looks like it's starting to push, and wow, did it push. Look, looking much more positive here. Bit of a gap there for whatever reason this morning, earlier on the feed here. So the FTSE pushing up at this stage, and finally the DAX. DAX pushing up okay, continuing what it's been doing over the week. So this bit consolidated where it is, but the consolidation is around the highs, so expect to see that really pushing through, which it's looking like it's just doing at the moment, but it does look like it's good for some more upside at the moment. Right, not necessarily an entry where it is at the moment though. That's the only thing for me on that. Right, I shall leave it there. I wish you a great day's trading and a great weekend, and I'll catch you back on Monday. Take care. Bye for now.